Good day, this is Teacher Rowan. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETULay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETULay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETULay will bridge the gap where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
All right, so great Monday afternoon po sa inyong lahat, to all of our virtual tutees and viewers all over the Philippines, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga senior high school learners, teachers, and of course, kasama yung mga parents na nanonood po ngayon. Happy Monday po sa inyong lahat. So I hope you started the week right, kaya naman po ihanda na ang puso at isipan sa panibagong linggo na puno ng amazing na pagkatuto dito lamang sa ETULay. I am your tutor, Tutor Tony of Novaliches High School, Quezon City, and I will be your guide as we discover more about our magnificent planet and its mechanisms. At dahil nga we started the school year last week, di ba? Nagsimula na tayo nating school year sa hashtag ETULay Level Up. Ayan, no? Don't forget to use our hashtag, hashtag ETULay Level Up. Makakasama nating muli ang ating bagong shooter for Senior High School Earth and Life Science. Let us all welcome once again Shooter Jules. Good afternoon, Shooter Jules. Kamusta po ang Monday?
Hello! Good morning po. Good afternoon po, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Happy
Shooter
Monday.
Jules.
Monday
Ayan.
is a happy day kasi nga po,
Yes.
Earth and Life Science Day.
Yes. Today is, kumbaga, pupunuin natin ng different scientific facts about Earth and Life Science ang ating mga viewers, especially ang ating mga senior high school learners. Let us now have our presentation, ma'am. Ayan. So once again, samahan niyo po kaming muli, Shooter Tony and Shooter Jules, 4 o'clock to 4:40 p.m. this Monday for Senior High School Earth and Life Science. And we are now on week number 2, Tutor Jules, no? So for our topics for this week, so dalawang topics or dalawang blocks tayo this week. So first is we are going to discuss the different types or different classification of rocks. And we'll know more about the different exogenic processes. All right? So yung tatlong classification ng rocks and of course, yung tinatawag natin ng mga exogenic processes. So I think they're ready. Ano ba mga kailangan na lang ihanda, Tutor Jules, for this session?
Okay, as usual, I hope na nasa place na sila ng kanilang bahay with strong internet connection and they have to prepare their notebook and ball pen for taking down notes, and of course they have to prepare themselves.
Okay, so prepare yourselves. Ayan. So tulad ng ating naipangako last week, no? So starting this week, week number 2, Tutor Jules, we'll be featuring our ELS Teachers of the Week, Class of the Week, tsaka Students of the Week. So ito yung mga teachers, mga estudyante natin na talaga namang hindi bumitaw sa pagsama sa atin sa ating week 1 tutorial. At the same time, yung mga nag-share ng ating live stream sa, kumbaga, to show them appreciation, so we are featuring them on our weekly episodes. So starting with our ELS Teachers of the Week, we are saying congratulations to Ma'am Josephine C. Medina of Masbate National Comprehensive High School. Masbate, good afternoon, ma'am. Kay Sir Romel Resurrection of Ireneo National High School, General Santos City in Cotabato. And of course, ang ating kapitbahay, ma'am, ang former student mo ata to, si Ma'am Catherine Balea ng Santa Lucia High School, Quezon City. And sa ating mga next na ELS teachers, ito talaga yung two of the best talagang namayagpag last week. Si Ma'am Beverly Joy Lorenzo of Horacio de la Costa High School in Caloocan City. And very supportive ang ating kapwa tutor dito sa ETULay, si Tutor Jen ng Science 7. Hello, ma'am. I hope you're watching and your class is watching. Ayan, so from Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School in Davao City. So they are our ELS Teachers of the Week. So sino naman ang ating Class of the Week, Tutor Jules?
For the Earth and Life Science Class of the Week, Grade 11 Titanium.
Yun, congratulations.
So, Science
Grade
teacher
11
nila
Titanium.
Ma'am si Ma'am Genevieve M. Pepito ng Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School, Davao City. And under the supervision of their class advisor, Sir Joseph Omar
very
S.
supportive.
Yes, we have to recognize also the advisor kasi most of the time yung mga nare-receive na award ng bata or yung mga problema kay advisor sinusumbong. And at this time, our recognition goes to the class advisor also.
Once again, congratulations to Grade 11 Titanium. And who are our students of the week? Tignan nga natin, baka ma-surprise sila. Actually, ilan lang ito. Actually, madaming sumuporta sa atin. So tuloy-tuloy lang natin yan hanggang matapos ang semester. So we're saying good afternoon and congratulations sa ating mga ka-ELS, mga senior high school students. Actually, upon checking and messaging them, piniem ko sila kasi ma'am, iba sumagot. So I'm surprised na junior high school pa lang iba, pero natutuwa sila sa ating mga sessions from senior high school. So gusto na nilang matuto. Kumbaga, level up na kagad ang kanilang mga knowledge and skills. So we're saying hi to Ricardo, JJ, Laika, Junette, Bensi Jos, ayan, and Ayn, John Christian, and Maricel. At sino yung pinaka-top 1 nila last week, Tutor Jules?
May top 1 pa talaga, sir?
Yes, hindi bumitaw. Very participative sa ating week 1 episode. And she is none other than?
Alea,
ayan. So I hope you're watching right now, Alea. So you are the star student of the week. So ELS student of the week for week number 1. All right. So once again, congratulations sa ating mga na-feature na teachers at saka mga students. Ayan. So tuloy lang ang pagsuporta sa lahat ng mga ETULay sessions po natin. So para at least ma-monitor natin, please make sure na kino-comment ninyo ang name ng school. Might as well, i-comment na rin ang name ni Sir at saka ni Ma'am. Ayan, pwedeng babate, di ba? We are still celebrating the National Teachers Month, di ba, Tutor Jules? So pwedeng mapahapyaw din ng pagbate later on. All right, let's proceed.
The most essential learning competencies.
All right, so what are our MECs for this week, Tutor Jules?
Okay, 1, classify rocks into igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. And explain how the products of weathering are carried away by erosion and deposited elsewhere.
Ayan, so babalikan natin yan. So speaking of babalikan, minsan may mga bagay na kailangan balikan, di ba? Parang sa ito, review. Baka humugot pa ako nito. All right, so let's have our review. For since we are catering senior high school students, no, so not all the time may choices, mga anak, no, mga estudyante natin nanonood. Or pwede rin makisagot ang ating mga teachers and parents na nanonood sa atin ngayon. All you have to do is to supply the correct word, supply the missing word. So we have the choices here. We have rocks, terrestrial, crust, upper mantle, minerals, outermost, lithosphere, and geosphere. So wala kayong ibang dapat gawin kundi i-comment lang ang inyong mga sagot sa ating comment section. Ayan, so let's start flashing the correct answers, Tutor Jules. So Earth being a blank planet.
That
Yeah,
is,
being a terrestrial planet, so terrestrial means a rocky planet, is composed of rocks and wag mahiya, habol kayo ng mga sagot ninyo. Of rocks and
makikita naman namin.
minerals. Ayan, makikita na, ma-acknowledge natin yan mamaya. So rocks and minerals as part of the geosphere. The blank is the solid portion of the Earth, and that is called the the geosphere is called the solid portion of the Earth that includes the blank, the outermost layer. Anong tawag doon, Tutor Jules? So we have the lithosphere.
By the way, sir, I forget the geosphere is also called lithosphere.
Okay. So the outermost layer, which is composed of the blank and the blank. So I think nandiyan na sila, ma'am, nag-iingay na sila sa comment section ng ating mga taga Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School. Ayan, so tuloy-tuloy lang pag-participate. Ayan, so flash na po natin yung sagot, Tutor Jules. It's composed of the blank, the crust, and the upper mantle. So crust and the upper mantle, kung saan nangyayari yung mga different geologic processes. And finally, blank are the natural building blocks of the Earth's lithosphere. And that is, of course, our topic for today, which is about rocks. Ayan. So, kung re-recall din natin, no, so ang rocks naman, as discussed by Tutor Jules last week, ang mga rocks ay gawa or they are made up of what we call the minerals. So, minerals are the building blocks of rocks. So take it away, Tutor Jules. Let's start our discussion for this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. And here, based from the given definition, the natural building blocks, the rocks are the natural building blocks of the Earth's lithosphere. So they are interconnected. And what are rocks? So
bakit ba kailangan pinag-aaralan yung rocks, Ma'am Jules?
Oo nga. These are the examples of rock and uses of rocks.
Are they useful, ma'am?
As you can see, ayan po yung use of the rocks. Andyan po sila. Ginagamit for the building construction.
Yes.
On the floor. And let's have the definition of rock.
So they can be parang materials for construction, 'di ba? For decorations, 'di ba? Sa mga plantito tsaka plantita natin diyan, landscaping ginagamit din ng mga rocks. So what are rocks, Tutor Jules?
So rock is a naturally occurring solid aggregate of one or more minerals. So as we presented before, the minerals, the building blocks of rocks, and then the building block of the lithosphere, those are rocks.
The rocks.
And the scientific study of rock is known as petrology.
Ayan.
And the person who is studying rock is known as petrologist. So last time, we study the minerals, and the scientific study of minerals are known as mineralogy. And the person who is studying the minerals are known as mineralogists.
So sa Ma'am Tutor Jules, no? So in college, they can take actually courses related sa geology. So kailangan natin ng mga petrologists tsaka mineralogists in the future. So meron tayong mga schools, no, sa Pilipinas na nagpo-provide ng ganong course. So they can take up geology kung mahilig sila sa mga mag-examine ng mga rocks tsaka mineral samples. So ano kaya yung mga tatlong classification ng rocks? I think ayan, sige, reviewin natin, ma'am.
So these are the classification of rocks, the igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. Let's start with igneous.
Igneous.
Okay, sample, andesite, basalt, diorite, gabbro, and obsidian.
Ayan.
So here, igneous rocks formed from hardening and crystallization of magma. So these are the materials produced in solidification of the molten rocks or cooling of the molten rocks. Yan yung mga nabuo.
Pag mag-harden yung magma or sometimes of course yung lava kapag nasa surface na siya ng Earth, sila yung mga magiging igneous rocks in the future.
Ayan po.
And saan galing yung word na igneous, ma'am?
Okay. Based on the Latin term igneous, meaning fire. There's
fire.
A substance of...
Kasi may element ng fire, apoy, high temperature.
Okay po. So next, there are two types of igneous rock. One, it is located based on the image located outside and that is extrusive or known as volcanic. So, yan, extrusive from the word itself, ex, nasa labas.
Yes,
Nasa
X.
labas na yan ng puso mo. Wala na sa loob
Mm-mm.
ng magma
X.
chamber,
Kaya
right?
nga tinawag
Okay,
na X.
X. Extrusive
I like
volcanic.
that, Tutor
And
Jules.
then, what happened? Since nasa labas na siya, it cools
Mm-mm.
quickly. And then, in the process, the formation of the crystal, normally, kailangan niya ng heat. So, it form only a very small crystal because the cooling process is speedy.
Oo,
Okay?
mabilis lang. Walang
Yes.
masyadong init, no? So, kailangan nagsosolidify siya kaagad. So,
So, there
X,
is,
tandaan,
uh,
extrusive or the volcanic
yes.
rocks. What's the other one, ma'am?
The other one is underneath. Yan, nasa loob
Underneath,
mo.
yes.
Yan yung
Nasa loob pa
current.
siya.
Kumbaga, yung isa si X nasa labas, eto this is current, nasa loob ng puso mo, o the receiver.
Nasa intrusive, inside
Intrusive.
your heart.
Opo, which is also known as plutonic. Okay, since
Mhm.
nasa loob siya, cools slowly beneath the earth. And what will happen? There's a formation of very large crystal. So, coarse
Yes, kasi
grain.
mainit dyan, no?
Mm-mm.
Mabagal ang pag-solidify nila. So once again, we have extrusive or volcanic rocks, and the other one is intrusive, and then, or what we call the plutonics from the word plutons, okay? Plutonic rocks. We also
Okay,
have another classification, ma'am, I think.
so types of rocks based on
Their
texture.
texture, ayan.
Okay. The texture, a fine grain or a coarse grain. So sample in apanitic rock. So example, the andesite. Look at the grain of, look at the particles of this type of rock in andesite, di ba? Fine lang siya.
Pino lang
And
ang kanyang mga
in
particles.
paneritic, look, coarse grain. The particles is bigger compared than the andesite. Okay, those are
Shout out
the
lang natin, ma'am, si parang may hugot dito, si Clark Marvin Adolor. Parang relasyon, pag pinagtibay ng oras at pagsubok, mas matibay at solid. Grabe. Salamat sa
sabi.
input na yun, nakaka-relate ang ating mga senior high school learners.
Yes,
Clark
gusto nila
Marvin
yung maraming
Adolor.
hugot, sir, eh.
May mga hugot, grabe, pati bato nalalagyan ng hugot na. Sige, let's know more
Opo.
about the rocks.
So those
This
are the
afternoon.
two types based on the texture.
Texture, aphanitic and phaneritic.
Phaneritic. Okay, let
Grabe
us
yung
proceed.
mga learners natin. We
Okay,
are now
next.
ready to discuss about sedimentary rocks. So from the word naman ito na ma'am, we have the word sediments. So examples natin dyan, we have chalk, limestone, at saka sandstone.
Ayan, sediments, particles.
So sediments.
Okay, the given definition provide information about the surface conditions that existed in the Earth's past. So these consist of the small particles of the rocks existed or the living organism live a long time ago po. Ito yung mga nabuhay noon at saka yung rocks noon. So those are sediments and then hardened into rocks.
Rocks. So that is the very reason, Tutor Jules, bakit very important yung mga discoveries, yung mga inaaral ng ating mga geologists. Kasi particularly yung mga rock types like the sedimentary rocks, nandun yung mga fossils na inaaral natin which gave us the clue kung ano ba yung mga nangyari during our past. So meron tayong separate session about the fossils. So abangan nyo yan sa mga susunod natin na discussions. Alright, so what else do we know about sedimentary rocks, ma'am? May types din ba ng sedimentary rocks?
Yes,
ayan. So we have 3 types. So first one is
the clastic.
Clastic.
Yes po. Formed from accumulation of clasts. Those are the little pieces of broken rocks and shells. Yung shell, basically that is consists of calcium carbonate.
Correct.
And then the natural color of calcium carbonate is color white. Ayan,
white.
In sandstone, parang ito yung main composition niya. There are carbonates present there. And then here also in conglomerate consists of different types of rock. May black, may brown, may yellowish, and then dirty brown.
All right. So when we say clastic, ito yung mga basic types ng sedimentary rocks. All right. What's the second one, Tutor Jules?
In chemical, so
Yan.
formed when dissolved minerals precipitate from a solution. Chemicals refer to chemistry. In chemistry, we talk about the compounds and substance and their interaction. When they
Yes.
interact, they will form another compound. So there's a
Mm-mm.
formation of a new compound. May bagong product na nabubuo.
Kumbaga may
Like
ano, ang
that,
clue word
halon.
natin diyan is parang may nangyayaring chemical reaction para makapag-create ng ganitong klaseng rocks, no ma'am?
Yes po, there's a formation of a new compounds.
Yes.
Like the
And
halon.
the halide. All right. So we have plastic, chemical, and the third one is your
The third one is organic. Okay.
ayan. So organic. Ano
Organic,
ba yung
we know
organic
about
from the word?
organic. Ang organic, that is from living organism or a part of living organism that made from the
Mm-mm.
remains of plants and animals and may contain fossils. Etong coal na to, developed for, they formed for million years ago. Ayun, na-form yung mga
Yes.
nandos the remains of plants and animals, then for million years, it developed into coal. So,
Na-process yung carbon content, no? Kaya nga actually yung coal is one of our main energy sources. So it's being burned para ma-utilize yung energy na nandun sa carbon na yon. Alright, so again, recall lang natin ma'am, no? Types of sedimentary rocks, dear learners, we have your plastic, your organic, and your chemical sedimentary rocks.
okay, let's talk about the formation of the sedimentary rock.
Paano
So,
kaya
number one,
na-form?
okay, how they form. First stage, erosion. Number one, ano ba yung nakikita dito sa number one? The small particles or the
Are being
fragments,
eroded, yes.
material washed into the sea. Yan. Then second is deposited in an area at the bottom. It is located at the bottom. And then the next stage, there's a formation of layers of sediment.
Yes, so they are being compacted.
Yes, compaction.
And finally, we
There's a process
have
of compression. And finally, we have the cementation. Okay,
cementation.
and there's a specific discussion or slide for each stage. So number
Ayan.
one, in
So when we
erosion.
say erosion, that is the wearing away of rocks due to wind, water, or ice. Kung basically, Tutor Jules, natatransfer yung mga particles natin ng rocks or maybe soil particles, they're being transferred from one place to another. So after ng erosion, ang mangyayari ay
The rocks.
Next po.
By the
Next po.
way,
yes po.
the agents of the erosion, the wind, water,
Wind.
or ice. Ayun, hindi nakalimutan natin ibanggitin the agents of
Yes.
the erosion. The wind, water, and the rest. So next is deposition. In
Okay.
deposition, the particles left deposited in a place. Ayun.
So they
Dito
settle
sa
on a
wind.
particular place. Pwedeng sa soil yan, babalik sa on a particular soil or land area. Or mostly, ang mga sedimentary rocks, Tutor Jules, they have to remember, sila ay na-form usually sa mga bodies of water. Ayan.
Yes po. In this picture, dito sa gilid dito, may naka-attach, may nakikita dyan yung materials na nakalagay. And then dito naman, under the water, may nandun yung mga sediments.
Nag-settle na sila doon, yes.
At the bottom. And then
After
here,
nilang mag-settle, what will happen, Tutor Jules?
Okay, after they settle, what will happen? It's compaction. The next stage is compaction. In compaction, this squeezes the layer so that the particles or grains stick together. So
You're being compacted.
Like compression. Na-compress
Yes.
yung mga
After
particles.
hundreds or thousands or millions of years, ayan. So at least natatabunan hanggang sa mag-harden na siya until ma-reach na yung final stage, which is
The final stage is cementation.
cementation na. So what happens during cementation? The minerals that are dissolved in water start to crystallize. And this crystallized mineral, siya yung nagsisilbing glue para magdikit-dikit, maging talagang compact na siya at maging solid na nga siya. Tulad ng sinabi ng isa ating learners, no? So kailangan ma-cement siya, mag-glue into a solid rock na talaga siya. So yun na, isa na siyang full-fledged na sedimentary rock.
Okay, so
Ayan.
those are the stages. the formation
Okay.
of sedimentary rocks.
Rocks.
Okay, po tayo.
Erosion, deposition,
Erosion, deposition, before the deposition, compaction,
compaction, and cementation. Ayan. So shoutout lang tayo mabilis, Tutor Jules, no? Ang dami mong estudyante dito. Grade 11 ABM, Kaibiga High School. Nandiyan yung mga students mo, mga very supportive. Hello sa inyo. Good afternoon. So enjoy watching and enjoy learning with Tutor Tony and of course, your very own teacher, Tutor Jules. So let's now proceed with the third type. So ang tawag naman dito, so kanina igneous, so may element ng fire. Tapos ngayon, kanina sedimentary, so mostly they're build sa mga bodies of water, so may element ng water. So ano kayang element meron naman sa metamorphic rocks?
in metamorphic rocks. These are the
Ayan.
examples.
Examples are, ayan, maganda. Garnet, slate, marble,
Jadeite, marble.
mhm,
Okay, nice.
schist, and the
And
gneiss.
formed from pre-existing rocks. So either metamorphic, igneous, to sedimentary. So it is converted from a type of rock to another type of rock. It is converted to one rock to another.
Alright. So basically, dati silang igneous, sedimentary, or dati rin silang metamorphic na na-transform pa siya into another kind of metamorphic rock. Sa process na tinatawag nating, Tutor Jules, anong tawag doon?
It is known as metamorphism, the transformation
Yun.
of one rock type to another.
Alright. So tandaan ha, senior high school learners, we have metamorphism and we have two kinds of metamorphism.
Okay,
And that
we have
is-
one rock and the regional metamorphism, the two types. Kasi hindi ito na-emphasize sa sa module. So, sabi ko, they have to watch the video. So here, contact and the regional metamorphism. In contact, look at it, based from the given illustration, it is because of the heat due to contact with magma. So kapag yung rock nadikit sa magma, so it will transform to a new rock. Okay, it will transport to another type of rock. So there is a direct contact. And then
Yes.
in regional metamorphism, it is because of the pressure. Pressure is the force exerted per unit area, right? Applying pressure to a rock, now the pressure. So what will happen? So it will deform or it will form to another type of rock. So again, there are two types of metamorphism, the contact and the regional metamorphism. In contact, because of the heat, a direct
Heat.
contact. And then under regional, due to the changes in pressure.
Pressure,
Okay,
ayun. Yan yung clue words na tandaan ha, for contact heat and then regional pressure. Shout out daw sa ating mga students, grade 11 ABM, Kaibiga High School. Ayan. Si Maria
Wow, si
Daniela Adaw Mercado. Ayan. Very active, ma'am. Oh. Pa-shout out daw. Alright. So, I think we have two types din ng metamorphic rocks. Siyempre, kung may types ng igneous at sedimentary, meron din tayong types ng metamorphic rocks. So, the first type of metamorphic rock is what we call the foliated metamorphic rock. So, ibig sabihin ng foliated or meron tinatawag na mga foliations, parang siyang may mga bands or layers because of yun nga, yung pressure at yung stress na naranasan nila. Alright? So we have the gneiss at saka schist as examples. As you can see in our illustration or diagram, ayan, kitang-kita naman yung mga banded formations or mga layers nila. Pwedeng any direction, no? Pero very visible na isang direction lang siya kasi nga yung direction ng force at saka ng pressure. Kung may foliated, meron din tayong tinatawag na
sana all kapag na-stress, gumaganda. Parang mas maganda yata pag stress, sir, di ba?
Depende sa pag-handle ng stress.
Due to pressure, what happened? Parang lalo siyang...
Tama nga. Sino nagsabi nun?
Okay po, next po tayo.
Sino nagsabi nun, Tutor Jules? Sana all. Ay, kayo. Tama, I like that. Sana all kapag napipressure na i-stress, no, natatransform into another na mas magandang klase. So in this case, as we are talking about rocks, nice one, Tutor Jules. I like that. So kung may foliated, meron tayong
non-foliated.
Yan. So non-foliated. So pag non-foliated naman po, the grains are random and they do not split into layers. So examples shown in our presentation are the metamorphic rocks called hornfels at saka quartzite. Ayan, namimiss ko na yung quartzite na yan. Ang ganda-ganda kasi ng rock sample na yan sa mga rock and mineral samples natin sa laboratories. Ayan. So once again, we have 2 types of metamorphic rocks, Tutor Jules, no? Foliated, may
and
mga
non-foliated.
layers at saka non-foliated.
Sa non-foliated, random ang grains. Okay?
Alright.
So, next.
Ayan.
So, the common metamorphic rocks and their
And their-
protoliths. The protoliths refers to the original rock. Okay, they are originated from a type of rock, then turns to another type of rock. Like this, the granite turns to gneiss. Granite is extrusive igneous rock. Extrusive igneous rock, and then transformed to gneiss, which is metamorphic rock. And then the limestone, a type of sedimentary rock, turns to marble. Limestone to marble.
Yes, napakamahal na marble kasi nga it will take thousands or millions of years, no, para ma-form yung mga ganitong klase ng rocks. And then we also have sandstone.
The sandstone turns to quartzite. Sandstone, sedimentary to metamorphic din siya.
All right.
So
they are called the protoliths.
Yes.
Ayan, so watching right now ang ating star student last week, si Alea. Ayan, Alea Chavez, good afternoon. Sana masagot mo yung PM ko sa'yo. Alright, so let's now proceed to our activity, ma'am. Mabilisan lang to na activity. Let's just have, ang task nila is to complete the concept map that we have on the right side of the screen. And their choices are the following. So we have metamorphic, sedimentary, non-clastic, clastic, extrusive, igneous, contact metamorphism, regional metamorphism, and intrusive. Ayan. Sige, Tutor Jules, take it away.
Okay. For number 1, to the classification of rocks muna tayo.
Ano muna tayo? Horizontal.
Describe, based from the description, forms from cooling and solidification of magma. What type of rock?
Okay, so time to answer on the comment section. May hugot na naman to si Clark Marvin Adoloro. Unang kita ko pa lang sa'yo, na-miss ko na, balikan ko na lang. Para ka nang naging sedimentary rock, napakarupok. Alright? So pwede namang maging marupok, no, Clark, sa ating mga senior high school learners. Pero hanggat maaari, syempre, focus pa rin tayo sa kung ano yung tamang direksyon natin. And that is, of course, yung pag-aaral natin. Alright? So I think that first type of rock is, ma'am, let's show the answers now. Habol na lang ang sagot, senior high school learners. Ayan, tama si Mac. Tama, si Mac Grady, Igneous. Okay, RJ, Luigi, correct.
Okay, second tayo. And the next, form from compaction and cementation. So, you can still remember those process, right? Ito yung marupok. Sabi kanina, narinig ko, marupok.
Marupok.
Ito, that is sedimentary.
Sedimentary. All right. And finally, rocks change
due to temperature and pressure.
Sana all. Mas gumaganda, mas gumagwapo kapag na-expose sa pressure, sa stress, metamorphic rock.
Okay, so let's have the characteristic of its type of rock.
Ayan, sumasagot sila. Thank you so much.
Next
2 types ng igneous rock, Ma'am Tutor Jules.
First to the 2 types of igneous rock. Ano na yun? Can you still remember? Magma cools slowly. So that is, ayan ba si X or current?
Yes. Si X ba yan or tsaka yung nasa loob ng puso?
Okay. Is it X or intrusive?
Of course, intrusive.
Meron po bang nag-participate, sir?
Yeah po, marami po. Mark Hill, Bea Medina, Marilu, thank you for your answers.
And then next, under igneous rock, we have lava cools quickly.
Yeah, right. So that's, of course, ang opposite niya. Ang X. Na minsan kailangan nating balikan, extrusive. Alright, for sedimentary, review lang natin, your options would be non-clastic or clastic. So what type of sedimentary rock will be formed from sediments that are classified by size? That is let's show the answer, ma'am.
The clastic.
That's clastic. And of course, the one that evaporates, precipitate, or nanggaling sa mga biological matter, di ba? Tulad ng coal kanina, they are classified as the non-clastic. So ito yung chemical at saka yung organic na sedimentary rocks. And of course, Sa metamorphic tutor Jules, ito yung mga clue words natin kanina. We have heat and pressure. Sana naalala po nila. At yung mga senior high school learners. Sige, go!
So, sa heat, under metamorphic, is there a student who answers, sir? Meron po ba?
Ayan po, mahabol sila ma'am. Sige, let's show the answer na po para we can proceed to MEP number 2 na po. Ayan, so we have contact metamorphism. And finally, kapag na-pressure, exposed into pressures on a large portion of the lithosphere sa mga plates natin, that's what we call the regional metamorphism. So you can take a screenshot of this concept map para maging reviewer nyo rin. Ayan, or pwedeng, you can watch the replay of our ETULay online tutorial episodes. Let's proceed, ma'am. Okay.
The earth processes.
The different exogenic processes. Let's konting ano lang tayo, ma'am, no? Konting bilis lang tayo for this one.
Okay, for the
nadala tayo sa kanilang mga hugot.
and marami silang hugot. And endogenic process that is nasa
inside.
Inner part,
Yes.
process of the earth. Okay, then next. In exogenic process, these are the exogenic process: weathering, erosion, and deposition. So the agents of weathering, rain, the wind, and let's have this. The two types of weathering. Weathering refers to the process of disintegration and decomposition of rocks. Two types, the physical weathering and the chemical weathering. In physical weathering, there is a change in the physical structure from the big rock. It is divided into a smaller rock. And then in chemical weathering, there is a new materials form, like the discoloration appear in this rock. So in physical weathering, the breakdown of rock into pieces without any change in its composition. These are the factors.
Yes, isa-isa natin yung mga factors ha. So please take note of the factors, our dear senior high school learners. Of course, number 1 would be pressure. As we have mentioned kanina, kapag na-expose sa pressure, so of course, it refers to a certain amount of force. The tendency is they're being broken down into pieces. So the first factor is pressure. What's the second factor, Shooter Jules?
Okay, for the second factor,
of course. Ang katandem ni pressure palagi. Number 2 is temperature. So, kapag na-expose, kapag na-expose sila sa sobrang taas na temperature, or minsan sa sobrang baba naman na temperature, there's a tendency there that they will be broken down into smaller pieces. So, pressure...
Solid usually expand at high temperature.
They expand at high temperature.
Liquid at low temperature, it will also expand.
Expand. So, the word is expansion. The third factor, ma'am.
The third is the frost wedging. It is related to the temperature while ago. So kapag nagkaroon ng crack as a result of the high temperature and pressure, magkakaroon ng crack. Then that crack can be filled with water. And at low temperature, the water turn to solid. At solid form, the water expands, and then it will break the rock.
Okay.
So
parang puso na pusong bato ata. Baka may mag-shoutout ng pusong bato dyan, no? Na nag-break apart dahil sa mga different physical factors. Alright? So the third is frost wedging. Let's make this quick, ma'am. The fourth one is abrasion.
In abrasion, ayan. The breakdown of rock is caused by the impact and friction. Nandiyan it is because of the current or the waves along a stream, nagkakaroon ng ganyan na itsura sa gilid-gilid.
So from the word abrasion, so dahil sa impact at friction, parang nagagasgas and then eventually mag-wear out yung mga particles. So that is what we call abrasion. I think may panglima pa, ma'am. Tama? The fifth factor is what we call the organic activity.
Organic activity.
As seen in our diagram, minsan 'di ba sa mga kalye or sa mga palipaligid natin or minsan sa tapat ng bahay natin kapag may tumubong mga halaman or minsan kapag tumutubo yan as large plants like mga trees, yung roots nila nagpe-penetrate dun sa mga rocks or sa mga pinaka-solid part ng ating soil. So pwede yung mag-cause ng weathering. So that's what we call organic, that can break the rock. That's what we call organic activity. Of course, Oo,
Ayan.
human activities
Digging,
also.
quarrying, the building construction.
Oo. Yan ang
That
ayaw
is
natin minsan, no? Kasi minsan na may tendency na destroy ang ating environment. Pero of course, meron yang permit na kinukuha or hinihingi from our Department of Environment and Natural Resources. And then finally, ang mga cute na
and the
animals
last
can also
one,
be a factor, di ba? Yung mga digging animals lang natin like the rats, the rabbits, ayan, ano pa
squirrels.
ba?
Ayan.
Nagdidig,
So what
mga
will happen
snakes.
kapag ganyan nagkaroon ng mga butas-butas, it weaken the rock. So
Yes.
nadideform yan.
Okay, so they are being weathered. All right, so let's proceed with this next learning test. Learners, time to your keypad warriors, ilabas ng ang mga
So
daliling mabibilis.
identify
Identify the
the
factors.
factors of physical weathering shown in its picture. Is it
Okay.
pressure, temperature, frost wedging, abrasion, organic activity, varying animals, or human activities?
All right.
Ano po ba?
Sige ma'am, mahabol na lang po sila ng sagot.
Okay, and that is organic activity. Next.
May pa rin humuhugot
Oo nga, nadala na. Naumpisa na sa hugot. Hugot na tayo hanggang dulo.
Mukhang ginanahan sila sa usapan nating rocks no? Alright, second activity. So may nagka-quarry dito. Ayan. So meron tayong mga sites sa Philippines, no? Especially sa
So
Central
that
Luzon.
is-
That is, of course,
Ayan.
the factor is human activity or activities. And the last one, ayan, yung mga moles, rodents natin na mga animals. Ano kaya ayan, tama si Jamie, si Daniel, Shekinah Micaela, you are all correct. Linuel, Hero Henry Akap, thank you for answering. Mac Grady, very active. Jonette, ayan, hi Jonette. Sana nakita mo yung features sa'yo kanina as one of our ELS students of the week last week. So the answer is burrowing animals.
Okay, let us proceed to chemical weathering. Okay na tayo sa
Okay.
mechanical, chemical na tayo.
Yes.
So,
So for
composite
chemical, we
structure.
only have 3.
Tatlo lang to. So, biligsan na natin. Time number 3, decompose structure, chemical reaction. So, there is a chemical reaction. What are these chemical reaction? Number 1 is dissolution. It occurs in
Yes.
specific minerals which are dissolved in water. In dissolution process, the minerals are surrounded by the particles of water. So, you cannot identify anymore what is the mineral present because it is surrounded by the
Na-dissolve
water.
na siya.
And then this mineral, when react to another compound, it will precipitate to form a solid material like the stalactite and the stalagmite.
Stalagmite.
Kalimutan
Ayan.
kong ilagay yung pangalan, sir. Baka
So emphasize na lang po natin. Yes.
The
So ano mga nasa
stalactite
taas? Stalactite.
with C, with the letter C, ceiling ng taas. And then for the
Yes.
stalagmite, the letter G refers to the ground.
The ground. Tandaan yung mga sinabi ni Tutor Joel sa ceiling tsaka ground. Stalactite and stalagmite. The second chemical reaction would be hydrolysis. So
In
what is hydrolysis?
Ayan. The reaction with water. So normally when rock absorb water, what will happen? It turn into softer or weaker particles na kagaya nito, magiging clay siya. Like the pyroxene, feldspar, react with water, it form
Ito na yung tumurupok na sila, ang sabi kanina sa nag-shoutout. Madali na silang mas ma-weather because of hydrolysis. And the last chemical reaction, ma'am, under chemical weathering, ayan.
Oxidation. The reaction with oxygen.
Oo.
Yung mga rock natin, normally may mga may mga iron. When iron reacts with oxygen, forms ferric oxide or known as kalawang. The
Kalawang or
color
rust.
red or brown represent the presence of the ferric oxide. Ayan, kagaya dito sa mga rocks na to. So that is under the oxidation process.
Yes. And sige, bilisan natin for learning task for chemical weathering.
Yan, sagutan niyo na yan.
Ayan, stalactite at stalagmite. What factor or what process is involved? Let us show the choices, ma'am. Is it dissolution, hydrolysis, or oxidation? Ayan. The answer is?
The answer is
dissolution, of course. Responsible for the formation of stalactite and stalagmite. So nakakamiss mag-caving, ma'am, no? Na-experience mo na bang mag-caving?
Yes po.
Pupunta sa cave, ang
And
lamig-lamig. Tapos nag-echo yung voice mo. The second one, or the second picture, so we have here a statue or a monument. So as you can see, nagkaroon ng chemical reaction dyan sa kanyang pinaka-structure.
so,
And responsible for the chemical reaction or chemical weathering is what we
okay.
call, ayan, may mga sumasagot, Samantha, Akira, Mark Hill,
Tama po.
McGrady. You are all correct. We have hydrolysis. Ayan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your active participation. Gustong-gusto namin yan.
The importance
And then
of
finally, ano ba yung application ng weathering na yan? So number
weathering
one,
is
of
an
course,
important process in the formation of soil.
soil, lupa.
Importante yan. Soil is a
Yes.
mixture of grains, organic matter, water, and gas. Yan.
Can you imagine the planet Earth without, without soil? So, ano mangyayari na lang sa planeta natin kung walang
from
soil?
rock, nagkaroon na ng soil, and then the soil
Serves as a medium para mag-grow ang ating mga plants.
bumalik yung mga minerals, right? The
And
minerals,
of
the
course,
calcium, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur, yan naman ang i-absorb ng plant na magsisilbing food naman ng mga organism.
Recycle lang ating mga important
Yes,
nutrients. Okay, for our final test, fill in the blanks with the correct words or word to make it correct and meaningful. So pasadahan lang natin to, Tutor Jules, no? Para ito na yung pinaka-recap natin. So number one, the process of breaking down rocks into either physically or chemically type is called, flash na lang po natin yung answer, ma'am, mabilis. We have weathering. The second one, the breakdown of rocks into pieces without any change in its composition. Anong klaseng yun? Weathering. So we have the physical or the mechanical weathering. The third one is the response of oxygen with minerals. You have the clue word, oxygen. That's what we call oxidation. Yung kaninang nakita nyo, mga nag-oxidize na mga minerals natin. No? Number four, the mixture of grains, organic matter, water, and gas is, of course, the soil. Number five is the breakdown of rocks that is caused by impact and friction. Yung kanina, parang mga gas-gas. Abrasion. Number six, the change in the composition of rocks is what we call the blank. That is your chemical weathering kasi nabago na nga ang kanyang chemical composition. Number seven, the separation and removal of weathered rocks due to different agents like water, wind, and glacier is called blank. That is what we call, of course, the erosion. Number eight, ito, mama-mention to sa mga modules ninyo, no? So the movement of sediments downslope under the influence of gravity, para ito, Tutor Jules, no, mas massive, no, compared sa small-scale na erosion lang. Yes, ang tawag natin doon, senior high school learners, ay mass wasting. So mas madami ang na-erode na particles ng lupa or any particular types of rock. Number nine, the process in which the weathered materials carried out by erosion and gravity nagsisettle down in a particular location. It's what we call the deposition. And then finally, blank is a chemical reaction wherein rock-forming minerals react with water, that's the clue word, react with water and form different kinds of clay minerals. Naging marupok na siya. And that's what we call the hydrolysis. Thank you very much, mga very active nating learners. Ayan, Shara, Julian, Luigi, Alce, Hero, Henry, and of course, Maria Daniela. Kanina pa nagpapa-shoutout at active na sumasagot.
Amir, okay. Shoutout daw, Ma'am Olermo, Amir. Amir Andres of Kaibiga High School. Hello na.
Let's have this final two questions, ma'am. No, so arrange lang nila. Which of the following represents the correct order of the processes responsible for the formation of your sedimentary rocks? Sige nga. So of course, that's letter. Oops. Napakita ni ma'am. Na-press ni ma'am.
Letter?
Nakita na nila. Mabilis ang mga mata nila. Letter D. So we have weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, and cementation. Question number 2 says, which of the following processes does not cause physical weathering? So ano dyan? Chemical. Under ng chemical weathering. The best answer, of course.
You have to type the number. Type mo
item
yung
number. Ayan, tama sila. Si Lenuel is correct. Luigi is correct. Jamaica, Jonette, Randy. Letter C, oxidation. Because oxidation is under chemical weathering. Ayan, Ma'am Julie. Napaka-worthwhile ng ating mabatong usapan this afternoon. So, nahaluan ng hugot. And of course, sana na-inspire natin sila na to take geology courses in the future. And of course, ma-appreciate yung importance ng ating rocks. And
Yes,
of course, abangan yung mga susunod pa nating mga sessions next week because we'll be dealing with other types of rocks pa, or di-discuss pa natin further ang mga different types of rocks like igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. So ano ba, may Facebook page ata tayo, ma'am. So ano ba ita-type nila para ma-like nila ang page natin?
Okay, sir.
So we have ETULay ELS with Tutor Tony and Tutor Joe. Search nyo lang po and hit the like button. And of course, don't forget to support as well. I-share, i-like ang ating mga live stream na iba pang subject for senior high school under Team Mahusay. Ayan. So we have Safety and First Aid, General Biology 1, General Chemistry 1, and Media and Information Literacy. Aasahan po namin ang inyong suporta sa hashtag Team Mahusay. Ma'am. Ayan. Hashtag Team Mahusay. Parang sa inyo, ma'am, no? Ayan, ating mga viewers, this afternoon's hashtag, sobrang huhusay. Imagine, na lalagyan ng hugot ang usapan natin about the different types of
Kaya
rocks.
tumagal, sir, dahil sa hugot.
Alright. Pero naging worthwhile naman. Alright, so let's say goodbye for now. So thank you for your participation sa ating mga parents, sa ating mga teachers na nag-share ng ating live stream for this session week number 2. Sige ma'am, mabilis lang. Sino yung shoutout mo?
Ayan, si Maria Daniela Ado.
Ayan, kanina pa yan si Maria Daniela. Hi, Maria Daniela. So see you all. Kita-kits po tayo. Yes. So once again, I am Tutor Tony.
Okay, I'm Tutor Juice.
Kita-kits po ulit next Monday, mga ka-ELS. Bye-bye. God bless.
See you next week. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETULay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETULay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETULay!